When I graduate, I'm hoping, it's a little way off because I'm in my first year, but when I graduate, I'm hoping to teach. I think it's given me a really rounded understanding of people, which I think is really helpful. In order to be able to teach, you need to understand people. So I think that it will be really helpful, the knowledge that I've gained, and also being able to take a step back and reflect on what kind of a person I am, means that I don't just go gung-ho into everything, whereas before I might have always believed that I was right. I might actually be taking other people's interests and thoughts into account. I think I've developed a lot since I began this degree course in September. In a lot of ways, I actually have a job outside of my degree. I work alongside it, and I think I've learnt when to say things that are relevant rather than just to air everything that comes across my mind. I've learnt how to just to cope socially and professionally, I think, in a more professional way, and that helps to get things done rather than maybe just festering over something or letting it just slide. I'm kind of a bit more, I'm more direct, and it gets things sorted in a faster fashion. I think that since beginning my degree, I've become very much more focused on deadlines. Before I might have just let things slide or not been very organised. I'm not generally a very organised person. I kind of tend to just go with the flow. But I think that in doing this degree, it's helped me kind of focus my attentions in the right way at the right times, which has been really helpful to me, actually. Through this first year, we have to do presentations in class, which is really helpful in not just being able to talk to people, because obviously you get to know your cohort, so you're not frightened of them or embarrassed in front of them, but actually it teaches you how to talk about what's relevant, and to do that in a confident manner, rather than feeling a bit too shy, or that what you're going to say isn't as important as what someone else might have to say. I've found group work challenging at times, but that's been to my benefit, because I've always been quite an individual, and I've got very strong ideas of what I think is important and how things should be done. But in doing group work through my degree, it's really opened up to me how me shutting up for 5 minutes might actually help me listen to somebody else's point of view, and that will actually benefit my point of view as well. It supports rather than takes away from my own understandings of things. Halfway through this first year of the degree, we were asked to get together in groups and to begin a research project. The content of that project is not important. The skills that we developed were, initially we had to organise ourselves and decide what we were going to actually do, which obviously took negotiations. So we used negotiation skills amongst us as a group to decide what we felt would be the best way to gather that information and that data. We then had to present this to a room full of 40 people, other students, which could be quite daunting, but actually it was fun. We got the information that we needed from them. We put together quite a I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of at the moment, so I'm just going to waffle for half an hour until I think of it. We put together a really well thought out project that worked really well and gave us the data that we were hoping to collect. And that was largely down to the skills that we had learned in class, in doing group work, in talking to each other, in learning how to negotiate with one another, and doing that in a non-confrontational manner that was really helpful to put your point across, but also to accept somebody else's. So those listening skills are really crucial to us, I think, and we'd learnt that in presenting our work that we'd researched, and negotiating with each other about how we were going to study and go forward. For me, this course has brought up a lot of instances of personal reflection. I'm in my 40s now. I've come back into education after raising my children, And so therefore you kind of think you know who you are, and you think you know what your opinions are in the world and towards the world. And actually this brings such a different level of consciousness about how things can be looked at. So I've had to reflect on my approaches to people, my approaches to life in general, and to just think more about where I'm coming from, or where these things have come from that I believe to be true.
My name is Shailene Mpofu. I am in the Psychology and Sociology degree program, year 2. The industry I'm looking to go into and progress into that links to the degree is education. I'm really interested in psychology and social policy. The main subjects or modules that I feel are relevant would be looking at behavior, communication, cognitive skills, critical thought, culture and difference, and developmental psychology. Socioeconomic factors are also an important factor of the degree that will relate closely to schools and any educational policies. In addition to this, the industry relevant skills that I have developed include presentation skills, leadership skills, as I am the student rep for our course, speaking and listening skills, independent learning, handling and analyzing data, and also evaluation. Examples that I can give where these skills have been developed and assessed include case studies, use of data analysis software such as SPSS, presentations and debates. Debates are they've been an important one because debates also they've improved the way that I work within a group. I am I'm a logical thinker. I don't tend to think out of the box, which is what this course has helped me do. It's really extended my skills in doing research, whether it's primary or secondary. So I feel like this will basically enhance and improve my employability as I enter the employment sector.
I really like mental health, so I want to do something with mental health. I'm not 100% sure what yet, but I've learned a lot on mental health and I want to stay in that field. Abnormal psychology. I love it because I want to work in mental health. I found it really informative. I've learned so much about all the different disorders and I feel like it's helped me to understand better. I've developed my research skills, which is really important. I can now extract important information from an article, from a big article. I've also developed my active listening, and I take the time to listen to what other people want to say, and my discussion as well. I can discuss things on a better level now than I could before. In all of our discussions, in our debates, all our skills have been assessed. We've done presentations as well, so it means I've had to give information and teach about something, and so I've had to really take in what I've learned. The SEEN exams were really good because it gave me a chance to write the referencing down, so I've had to still think and learn and take everything in, but with the references it's hard to remember numbers and dates, so it gives you that little I can't think of the word it gives you a little hint as to what you want to say. Before I started this course, I was terrible with my time management. I used to leave everything to the last minute. But by doing different projects like my dissertation, I've now learnt the importance of time management and how to work effectively and efficiently. My organisational skills are much better than they were before, and I know how important it is to prepare for my assignments and the different projects that I've done.
So I'm looking at probation or criminal psychology, something with offenders, that sort of area. Crime and deviance is a massive interest. Obviously, with the field I want to go into, it's opened my eyes to a lot of ways that the laws work. Also, social policy, that's going to help with, again, with all the laws and the policies around probation. Critical thinking, definitely not taking things at face value. Before I started this course, I was somebody that would take things at face value. Also, time management, that was a huge one. Extracting information from bits of work that we've been given, case studies, all these sort of things. So we get quite a lot of case studies in psychology, which we have to extract the relevant information and write a report, an action plan on how to help these case studies. So we've just completed our dissertation, which obviously we've had to go out in the field and interview our participants. We've had to gather our participants to get them to take part in our research. And then once the data was collected, we've had to analyse our data, put it into relevant graphs, numbers, themes. We've had to pick out all the relevant themes and analyse it all. Confidence is a huge one. Before starting this degree, didn't have a lot of confidence, but through presentations and the debates that we've done, I now go into other classes and give presentations. So it is all about the confidence, talking to people that you don't know, understanding them, having the conversations with them, which before this I wouldn't have had the confidence to do.